That's what this
coming into Eufaula over the big water.
Lake Walter F. George.
Lake Walter F. George, or Lake Eufaula, right? We're going to go check out some of the antebellum mansions and just the beautiful area that is Eufaula. Sweet Home Alabama. You can sing that one.
Alabama.
Welcome to Alabama. We're in Alabama. So exciting.
Now we're in Central Time Zone.
Yeah, we're going to be all confused.
Aren't we?
I don't know. We left Cottonhill, and I don't even think it took 30 minutes to get here, did it?
It was right at.
Welcome to Eufaula, folks. Here's what this looks like as we come right here on this road that we left.
Turn right here.
At Cottonhill. Yep. But you passed a right, so I don't know. Air conditioner off, windows open. And we're just going to check out this little area. We're looking for the Chamber of Commerce because they have information. They have guides, driving tour and walking tour guides.
There's the Lampley building. Courthouse.
Yeah, there. Oh, look, there's a sign. Check that out. So starting here at this sign, Eufaula, Lower Creek Village of the Eufaula Indians began to be settled in 1823. Renamed Eufaula, so you can see there the different, just a different spelling. Hub of a prosperous plantation region, thriving river trade, antebellum homes. So there is a splash pad over to my right with children, so we don't want to get that. Looks like a walking trail over here. And we're going on the walking driving tour. We received a map from the Chamber of Commerce, which is right there. I was reading a story about a guy who had a bass, and he kept it in his aquarium. And whenever he'd walk around the aquarium, is like a very large aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
He was named Leroy Brown, or his fish was, I can't remember, but interesting story. This was the most unusual bass, he said. It was a 1-pound bass when he caught it. Manny is Tom Mann of Mann's Lures, who started his business in 1956, and you can still get Mann's Lures today. I love old buildings. Peanut Company, 1903. The Walter Britt Carlton building. Okay, some things to know before you get too far into this video. We missed some mansions, some of the antebellum homes along the way. We just missed them. We didn't really get lost, but we did drive way out of our way looking for some that were on the outskirts of town, and I think we just missed those as well. And finally, we had a funny, challenging situation just trying to get a tour in one of these antebellum homes. So stay tuned for that.
Assuming we're going the right direction.
We don't know. It's an adventure. It's hard to drive, video, and look at a map at the same time. So, enjoy the drive.
Okay.
House over there, a little breezy. Oh, this is the historic district, the South Laura Historic District. First Baptist Church right there. Beautiful. Okay, we're just passing houses here. At this point, we're not even trying to look at the map. Impressive. Has a little tie out for horses right there. I love it. This would be a very nice walking tour because you see the sidewalk on the right hand side? Shaded. Beautiful. This looks like good places to have a nice little bed and breakfast, right?
It does. What is...
Cemetery over here. I'm not sure which cemetery.
Old Fairview Cemetery.
With a mockingbird. Well, how cool is that? I bet there is some history in there. I would have loved to spend some more time at Fairview Cemetery. It was the first cemetery in Eufaula, and there you can find graves from the early 1800s, Confederate soldiers' graves, and graves of slaves, as well as a Jewish cemetery. Locals are like, dang tourists. So here I'll start my story of trying to get a mansion tour at one of the mansions that allow that, because not every house does. So our first choice was a shorter mansion. We wanted to go there. That looked like it was the most interesting and plus the easiest to get to. Stay tuned for more of the story. Oh, look at that magnolia. Oh, that's very pretty. Alright. Now we are almost back to... What street was that? I don't even know. West Broad Street. West Broad Street. Now you may have noticed statues, and there's a waterfall like in the middle of the intersections, like right smack in the middle of the intersections. If you want to learn more about those statues and that water fountain and other statues around, including there is a statue of Leroy Brown on just off of East Broad Street, at the end of East Broad Street, I think. You can go to the Eufaula Chamber of Commerce website, eufaulachamber.com, and it explains those features. This is North Randolph Avenue and Broad Street, right? East. We're back to where the fountain is. Okay, so back to our tour story. Well, we wanted to visit the shorter mansion. Their hours are Monday through Saturday, 10 to 4, which we were well within that time frame. So we went to the shorter mansion, and it was closed for a wedding. Come back later. It was at this point that we decided to just take a break and go to Michelle's restaurant for lunch. So stay tuned and see if we ever did get a mansion tour on our trip to Eufaula. Here's the Carnegie Library of Dale Carnegie fame. Ooh, look at that church. St. James Episcopal Church.
Look at the vines growing up it.
So pretty. This is a much busier road than that other road. We named North Eufaula Avenue the Raceway because there was no slowing down or looking at anything, even though the speed limit was supposedly only 30 right through there. Everyone was flying. So you see, no, we were not going that slow. I had to edit just be prepared. It is not like that on North Randolph Avenue, North Eufaula Avenue. Very fast. It's a thoroughfare. All right, well, if you come down that little stretch, you better go fast.
Yeah, see. Now there's nobody behind me, of course.
Thank you. Look, their sign says thank you if you're going the right speed limit, below 30. Oops.
Back in it.
We're back in it. I missed one.
That old house.
Uh-huh.
There's columns.
No.
That looks like a mansion.
Okay, could be like that one. Maybe that's it. That's a short mansion right there. That's what we need to come
Now
back.
we know where to go.
Yeah.
Get back. We're going to take a short break. Gas. And mommy.
We'll be back with you momentarily. Stopping at the marathon.
Now we're full of gas, and we're not full of pee.
Yep, nice potty break. Clean bathrooms. There at the marathon.
Mine, the stall was broke.
Oh, one of mine was broke too.
This is where we make the right.
Cathedral and corner.
Wiggly Wiggly.
Look, folks, there's a Piggly Wiggly. That will take some of you back.
Only in Alabama do you find a Piggly Wiggly.
Right?
There's some old ones over here.
Well, we'll have to catch them on the way back.
That's got some columns on it.
I love the bird song along here. All these front porches reminds me of that song. If everyone, what's a country song? If everyone had a front porch. Do you remember the song?
Not offhand.
Oh, the world be. But the bottom line is, if everyone had a front porch, the world would be a better place because they used to sit on the front porch and say hey to their neighbors. Ooh, that one's pretty. Which one that is?
Have a mint julep. Well, Mississippi, next stop.
Sorry, girls. Just don't pee on the rug. We're changing the name of this video to Lost in Eufaula. Definitely some hilly area. I love it. Don't think I'm not taking notes on places that are hilly and have a mountain feel, but don't have freezing cold and snow. So there's not many down on this end, but there's a couple. One we missed, but I know there's one on this side. That's a nice one right there.
Here we go.
Here, this one right up here. I don't know which one that is, but we will fill you in. Can you imagine living in one of these homes? And even though I don't think all these homes are on the register, they're just really cool looking, don't you think?
There's some columns.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's pretty impressive. That looks like that could be on the list. Wow. Just think it's interesting how they have statues and waterfalls right in the middle of the turns. Right? All right, back to the shorter mansion. Okay, in the words of Paul Harvey, here is the rest of the story. We were told at the shorter mansion to come back around 2 o'clock and it should be fine by then. So we went and had lunch. We came back to the shorter mansion around the 2 o'clock time, and no, they still were not open. It was at that point that we decided to switch over and check out Fendall Hall. So we got there, we parked, we wondered, we're like the only people here, and we walked up, and they too are closed for this big wedding that's in town. So now we have 3 failed attempts to try to get a mansion tour. We went back to the shorter mansion for a 3rd time and found them to be open and available. So we did get some pictures at Fendall Hall. That was nice. We kind of walked around the front of it and looked at the outside. But the shorter mansion is a beautiful home to tour, and I'm sure Fendall Hall is as well. It's a $5 donation to get in, and they allow you to take pictures and video. So I am just showing a sampling here of this beautiful home. But what was really interesting is upstairs, all the upstairs rooms have art. They're a museum. So they have artifacts and a lot of history and items from the founders and those who came early in Eufaula, and it's the family also. And there is a room that is dedicated to the 8 governors who lived in Eufaula and served Alabama. Worth a trip, worth the $5, and I have to say worth the wait. Plus we got a lunch out of it, so all was well. We were able to get back, get to the dogs before their next dog walk, and we had a great time in Eufaula. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 tips if you decide to visit Eufaula. Number 1, go by the Chamber of Commerce and get your walking driving tour map. Take a minute and read it. This is, it has all the houses in here. It has a map when there's little descriptions of the houses. So check that out before you go. It would have been easier for us if we'd have done that, but we didn't. We just jumped in and started driving. Excitement, Number 2, call before you visit or attempt to visit a mansion, because they are booked for flyway hairs here. They are sometimes booked for weddings and events and such things. I only have a flyer for Fendall Hall. Fendall Hall and the shorter mansion are the only 2 mansions that I know of that have tours. So call before you go. You can find those numbers just right on Google. And number 3, have lunch at Michelle's. It's a great country buffet, really good food. We enjoyed that little break. So we hadn't planned on lunch in town. We were kind of thinking about it, but when we had to wait for the 2 o'clock maybe to get back in the shorter mansion, well then we did. All right, so those are 3 things. Study your map, call before you go, and have lunch at Michelle's. All right, we hope you enjoyed this little tour of Eufaula, and if you're in the area, check it out. We were staying at Cottonhill over on the Georgia side, and by the way, just a little tidbit of information, the Georgia side of the lake, we are told, is the Walter F. George Reservoir. The Alabama side is called Lake Eufaula. So if you hear us saying Lake Eufaula or Walter F. George Reservoir, it's the same thing. I don't know if that's true. That's what we're told. So if you have any insight into that, go ahead and drop us a comment and let us know. So this is Sharon, Rough Road RV Life. We like looking at freedom. Hope to see you somewhere at a campground one day. We pass some people along the highway, but just say, hey, safe travels.